everybody, it's Diane here at Readings by Diane in Effingham, New Hampshire. You can find me on my website at www.readingsbydiane, Facebook at Readings by Diane Jarecki, and I also have a YouTube, Readings by Diane. And if you are local, you can also find me this Saturday in Manchester, New Hampshire at the Magical Market, where I will be one of the readers all day long. So anyway, looking forward to taking another caller today. And I'm going to be using a brand new deck to my collection, a little unusual for my taste because it's a little cleaner, more contemporary take on the metanoia, and some different decks. I'm going to try and change it out on a regular basis for those who are watching so that you're not seeing the same decks over and over again. So whenever my caller is ready, I am ready to take and do a reading. And I'm excited to kind of use some fresh decks this week myself. So, been a little cold again here in New Hampshire. It had warmed up and things have cooled down again, but we've got some warmer weather coming again later this week. So, winter's starting to break a little bit. And so Carla is joining us today. Welcome, Carla. And
hey, Diane, thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. So
I've got all the warm weather here too up in Canada.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got all the warm weather up here in Canada.
Oh, do you? You've got it up there. No, wait a minute. Usually you guys don't have
backwards it. Now, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it kind of doing the same thing up there though? Like cold, warm up, cold again?
Yeah. Honestly, it kind of happens in Alberta all the time. Like you can leave the house in the morning in a parka and by noon you need shorts and a tank top. So I just kind of layer every time I leave the house, not knowing. Like I'll put the vest on under the winter jacket. I don't know by the time I get to the truck what the weather's going to be. I went into a massage and I was wearing my parka and I come out and I swear I could have been wearing a tank top. And I was like, How long was this massage?
Right?
Yeah, it was not a long time.
Yeah, we don't really get that.
Looking at you like you're in
the winter time. That's more like fall and spring here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Not complaining though. Not complaining.
Right. Yeah, you gotta love where you live, right? I love it here.
Well, do you guys get minus 40s where you are?
No. Here it doesn't get anywhere near that cold. We'll get down into like the -5s, but not that often and not for that long. And we've kind of passed that time of year where that would happen here.
I need to move.
Yeah, Alaska gets that, but we don't. So
we get it here in Alberta. Yeah. Sorry, I think there's a little bit of a lag between us. I'll pause a little longer after I say something or after you say something.
Okay. Yeah, there does seem to be a little bit of a lag on this, and I'm still getting used to that myself a little bit here since I'm new to doing this. So what can I do for you today? What's your question you want to know about?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I feel so unprepared. What do you offer?
So I do tarot, Norman, and playing cards. And because it's cartomancy, I need at least a life area, like needing to look at, you know, career, finances, love life. Um, and I do have oracle cards. I can go a little deeper and more spiritual message, but for the most part, a framework is what I work within of having a question or at least a life area for everything.
Career, please.
Okay, so you want to take a look at, like, in general, what's going on with your career?
Yes, please.
All right. Now, have you been in the same career for a while?
Yeah, like under a decade.
Okay, but that's still under a decade, but it means it's been for years enough to be counting it more towards a decade, right?
I think I'm in the middle.
Okay. What's a I consider that a long time in a job or career, so. Now, have you been with the same company for the whole time, Carla?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'd say it like a contractor situation.
Okay.
You know, so you're kind of all over, right? Like you don't just work for one. You work with groups, right?
Okay. Okay. So, like what here we tend to call that more a temporary, but I've heard it called contract a lot because I read for people all around the world, so I'm familiar. But yeah, so kind of like temp positions. So you've worked in the same career, but you've been bouncing around a bit, company to company. Am I correct?
Yeah, well, kind of. It's kind of the nature of my job. Like you just you go where the work is, right?
Okay. Just want to make sure I understand, just because then as I look at the cards, if there's anything that talks about that kind of stuff, I'll know that's kind of something you would expect. It's a little normal. Okay. And it's interesting, and usually, like, the way I read the cards, I get a little bit of a storyline, like past to present and future. It's not strictly the future. And I'm kind of seeing like you left something that you had really loved to do this. And
Yep.
I feel like it was stressful in the beginning for you, but it's become less so because I feel like you've gained confidence in your skills now in this career.
Correct.
And I feel like you're moving forward to a place in it that you're really actually going to, you're mastering it. So just for those with a visual, this is where I was seeing the end of something loved, but then the lowering here of the stress in this current career. And then it's the magician and the chariot showing this confidence in your skills moving forward. And I feel like things are going to start really taking off for you actually a little bit more because of your experience. That chariot is showing kind of a speeding up. You know, the magician masters the skills, gains that confidence, builds things, shows things off and shows what they can do. And then in the chariot, we move forward.
Love it.
And since we're going to the 8 of Cups, this shows kind of an evolution of loving this and reaching a really good solid point, because anytime we're in the 8, we're in the lemniscate, we're in the infinity symbol. And so we're loving it now for the long term because of that confidence in the skills, because of where that's taking you now. And it takes you then into this mastery, because you go from the Knight of Swords, who is really kind of a beginner. And again, that's harking back to that cutting out what you didn't like before, to the King of Cups, where you're really starting to sit in that confidence of enjoying your current career and enjoying what you've learned. But the King speaks to mastery. So you have reached that level of being really solid in this career.
I think I hope you're spot on, sister.
Well, I would say that the cards truly are, because what I consider the shadow message or the surprise at the bottom of the pack kind of echoes it, because again, we show, I've got the Knight of Swords, again, echoing that cutting out something before and moving to the King of Batons or Wands, where again, we're sitting in that confidence of knowledge because you're in air. So yes, I do feel this is really going to start taking you to new levels in your career, and fairly quickly, that this is going to start moving for you because of those batons and the Chariot. All right. So thank you, Carla. And I really, really wish you many blessings in the future here with your career and places it's going to take you. And I wish everybody much love, much light, many blessings. Thank you for joining me today. And again, that's www.readingsbydiane.com or at Readings by Diane Jarecki on Facebook. Bye.